basically 87 acres of land located at the confluence of the Sand Canyon Boulevard, which runs right out in front here, and Soledad Canyon Boulevard. And it's currently part of the property is a mobile home park. I got involved in the mobile home park in 1985 with the idea at that time to develop the property. And in 2002, we filed a zone change and what they call a tentative map on part of the property, which is this drawing right here, which represents some housing, part of the mobile home park, and a shopping center, which was going to be anchored by Vons. They were going to come across the street.
I remember that.
And we got that approval, and we had to deal with Vons because they were in a smaller store with an old center at the time. And once we got approval of it, it became apparent that we had two properties. Our property, which is down in the corner, 50 acres, and another property adjacent to it, which is about 30 acres. And we were doing them separately, except for, from a grading standpoint, we needed to balance the dirt. They needed dirt, we needed to get rid of it. So instead of having trucks on the road, we could balance the grading on site. So we always had the two projects kind of going along, but it was kind of a hodgepodge of a deal. So we came back and we acquired that land, and with encouragement from the city, we put together a new plan integrating both properties into one kind of master plan community, which is this picture here. So this is Sand Canyon. We're up here at Stetson Ranch, okay? And this is Soledad. This is the off-ramp to the 14. So the 14 freeway's down here. And what it amounts to is 148 single-family homes here, 120 townhomes here, 312 apartments, and 120,000 feet of commercial made up of a lake and 4 indoor, outdoor seating restaurants, kind of much higher end, you know, the full bar, the whole thing, with some shops, kind of like well, there's now a Starbucks, so it'd be a coffee bean or tea or something, Noah's Bagel, and that sort of, again, indoor, outdoor seating. And then a senior assisted living facility here in the corner. The whole idea is to have that in an atmosphere that kind of has people wanting to come and kind of hang out a bit, where you could go for something in the morning, you know, coffee and what have you, or obviously lunch or the evening, you know, sitting around some various different restaurants. That we found that on our studies that out on the east side of town, you know, there's shopping and there's all the traditional things. You got Target, you got Lowe's, and you got the new Vons across the street, and that whole thing got redone, which is great. But it's really kind of, we thought and found lacking in any kind of really the restaurant sort of feel to it. So that's what we're bringing. We thought the lake kind of adds just some atmosphere to it, making it a little different. And we have been working to, you know, we started basically this plan after, in 2002 when we were approved for the original one. We started in earnest on this in 2005. By the time we really got going through, again, entitlements again, we ran into the Great Recession. So that stopped us in our tracks. That's when Vons basically said, you know, we're going to buy the center across the street, we'll rehab and expand our own store, and, you know, we're out. So with that, we went kind of back into the mobile home business that you see, but all of that is basically month to month, and we own the units or control them. We have an ordinance to close. Everybody knows about it, and we're taking care of basically the people that are there, moving people at the appropriate time. The timing of all this is in 2012 and 2013, the city did what you call a One Valley, One Vision with the county to update all of the zoning and general plan for the whole area. And they did that. This particular site, which beforehand was commercial, they named it and call it commercial. Commercial and neighborhood uses, and with residential, and so the zoning basically allows for what we're intending to do here. We have filed all this with the city last year. We've gone through, all the studies that you need to do again, because, anytime the project changes, you need to do that. So that's traffic, noise, air quality, water, all those various things. And we will be going in front of the Planning Commission and City Council for approval of all those updated studies. As I said before, the zoning is approved and the general plan's approved, so we're not going for that need. But nevertheless, we're still going back to the city. That'll be happening probably in September, and if all that goes well, we should have final approval by the end of the year. We would then start in the first of the year, starting to move the mobile homes out and be basically grading by June of next year. We'll start to come out of the ground, meaning coming vertical, in about 4 months after that, where we'll start the construction basically of everything. So the commercial, the restaurants, the shops, they all go right out of the chute. We are going to own and manage basically half of the whole thing. We're going to sell pads to builders, similar to what happened here, where K.O. was the builder of the homes. We'll build and own the apartments. We'll build and own the assisted living. We'll build and own the retail, the restaurants, and all of that. Yes?
I have a question for you. How many mobile homes are there right now in that area?
Well, there's 123 on the ground.
There are 123 on the ground.
On the ground.
And how many units, housing units, are you building?
580. The mobile home park is zoned for 167. When we took them all the way down to 13 units out at one point in time when we were ready to build. We bought all those. When the Great Recession hit, we decided to go, what are we going to do with the property? We still have, bills to pay, etc. So we went and brought units back, rehabbed them, and rented them on a month-to-month basis. And we've gotten back to 123, but we don't want to go anymore.
So what does the study say about the increase in housing units from what it is now to what you're proposing?
Well, so far, when you study, let's take one of the ones that's kind of the favorite, is traffic. So you look at it and you say, okay, just like you pointed out, you had basically 138 when we were fully operating mobile homes. Today you got 123. You're going to 580, so you're increasing the number of cars, trips, and what have you. So now the study says, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to mitigate that? So do you build and widen roads? Do you add signals, turn lanes? Do you pay money into Caltrans funds to widen the freeways? So every project has to address the issue, and then they have to mitigate it, meaning pay. And so we do that. And those studies are just being finished today, okay? And we'll tell the story. And that's then for the planning commissioners and the city council to evaluate. The one thing somewhat unique about this property is that we're right at confluence of four-way on and off ramp to the freeway. Good portion of the traffic that we'll generate will use that freeway. So you'll still use Solid Ed. They're still going to come out on Sand Canyon, but to a large degree, they're not going to be traveling through rural roads and all that to get there. Hope I answered your question.
Right here?
Yeah. Oh, let me just finish one real quick, and then in terms of the timing. So I said we go vertical. Where you guys would be probably somewhat interested. We should be delivering the shopping center portion, the retail, and what have you, the restaurants and such, in late 2017 into early 18. That's when actually you're going to see and be able to go to the store or a restaurant or what have you. Okay, go ahead.
So you're obviously going to widen Sand Canyon up to, I'm assuming, where the homes on this side start? Because how are you going to widen Sand Canyon all the way through?
We are widening, I think you're about right. We are widening Sand Canyon on our frontage.
To a 2-lane each way, right?
Yeah, it'll be 4 lanes, center divider, bike lane, sidewalks.
Are you going to have a sidewalk coming down from here down to the complex, or?
No, the city will do that at some point. Okay, we're paying funds into what they call them bridge and thoroughfare fees. So based on the number of units you have, you pay it's about $15,000 per dwelling unit into a fund.
Okay.
That fund then is a district, and there's like 6 districts in Santa Clarita.
I'm just worried about the 2 lanes coming up going down to 1 for our housing tract.
Yeah, there's a break. There will be a break for some period of time. I couldn't tell you how long,
Yeah.
but the plans on the city plans are to widen Sand Canyon all the way to Sierra. So eventually, all the way. Yeah. The challenge is not from here down, and we're doing 2/3 of it, right? But the challenge is from here